center of the universe, and the Thrive15.com world headquarters.
Let's go!
Presenting the world's only business school without the BS, with optometrist and entrepreneur Dr. Robert Zellner, and the Forest Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year in your ear, Clay Clark. It's the Thrivetime Show. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for inviting us back into your room. It's the Thrivetime Show on your radio. This is a show where real business owners go to learn real talk about real business. We say in the show promo, we say it's business school without the BS. Well, what does BS stand for? Well, here's the thing is there's this candy-coated TED Talks entrepreneurship where you basically, what you do is you talk about theory.
You could do it.
And what you do is you're typically taught the theory by someone who's never run a successful company.
Okay, Ray, listen up. I have faith in you.
So today we're talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. It is executing the proven plan. We have questions from real thrivers that have come in today, and I'm going to be going through these one by one. And we have a thriver that asks, well, how many months would I need to be a business coach client before I see a return? Well, when you execute the system, there are things you are going to run into that, in my opinion, are very predictable. So we're going to start with United Airlines for 5,000 points. Z.
Hold on. That was me kind of chiming in a little bit.
Wow.
It's been kind of a feisty week this week.
It is. It's hot and heavy here on the show.
It's been, you know what? Thank goodness I don't Facebook. And I don't Facebook. I mean, I have my businesses too, and I pay people to do the Facebook thing.
You pay people to go on Facebook because you're not on Facebook.
No, I don't personally do a Facebook. And people get on there and they rant, and you have been fired up all week long about a rant on there. But before we get to that...
Well, I use the hate to convert it into energy.
Well, you use everything to motivate.
There we go. Everything.
Even the hate.
Yeah, the hate motivates.
To be in the late.
Whoa.
Not being great.
Oh,
Use
wow.
all that to motivate. Come on now. So we've been playing a little bit of a game, and I'm going to start off today's show because it's been a little tense this week.
It's been a tense week.
All the thrivers out there, it's been a little
all
tense.
that North Korean talk, all the Facebook.
It's been a little Kim Jong-un time, okay?
Yeah.
So we've been playing a game. I go out and buy random items at Walmart, and then I ask Clay whether this random item costs more or less in the first month at Thrive15.com.
Quick disclaimer. Have you actually been in Walmart, or are you paying someone to go to Walmart to buy said items for you? I mean, because you're the master delegator.
Okay.
Did you actually go in Walmart?
I did not walk into. I did not go to Walmart.
I knew it. You didn't
go to Walmart. I busted yet again.
Okay, so you've delegated even going to Walmart.
By the truth factor that
anything
Clay
you don't want to do, you delegate.
You just smell things out. You just know stuff.
I knew it.
Okay, so I have here. It's a small box. It's 12 individually wrapped Shout, Wipe, and Goes. In other words, it's a little prepackaged thing. You pull it out, you open it, and then you wipe a stain off your clothes. If you're a messy salsa eater or something like that,
yeah.
Or if you're at Oklahoma Joe's and you eat the baked beans, you're just eating them so fast you can't even hardly chew them. They just
my son's 10, so all baked beans end up on his body.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
So we have a little box having 12 individually wrapped from Walmart. Is, as you know, Thrivers, the first month of Thrive is $1.
That's $1.
That's $1.
If you round it up, it's $1.
If you round it down, it's $1.
Either way, it's $1.
So which costs more, Clay Clark? This little box of Shout, it's little, small, so it fits in my palm. Shout, Wipe, and Goes, or the first month of Thrive15.com.
Well, I'll tell you this. First off, and in the rule book of this game, you might not have read on page 7, Article A, I can phone a friend if I'm in need, or I can ask somebody. And so we have Justin Moore, the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge.
How you doing, man?
And Justin's in the box that rocks. Justin, how you doing, man?
We're rocking it in that box that rocks. So I'm excited to be here.
You're a man of style. You're a man of fashion. You own a men's grooming salon.
Kind of looks like an Amish mafia dude, actually, is what I
mean, you're very handsome. You know about style.
The beard, the hat, the thing, the swag.
When we talk about what is this item again? It's the wipes. It's the
Shout. It's right here. Right, you guys can see
Shout.
it. Johnson & Johnson, which is a publicly traded company,
a
proven brand of chemicals in your homes, and Shout, Wipe, and Go. It's instant stain remover.
Justin, how much do you think that is? Is that more than $1 or less? Because you are a man, you know about style, keeping your clothes clean, well groomed. I mean, you know these things. I mean, what do you think it's over $1?
In my professional style experience,
yeah,
the price is right at $3.99.
Really?
Woo.
Wow.
Wow, Clay, you just going to go with that, or are you going to?
It has to be less than $1 because there's got to be something good in America today that's less than $1. It has to have.
It's $2.96 with tax. So
What?
This box of Shout White and Go could actually do 3 entrepreneurs, 3 at $1 a month.
That's unbelievable right there.
I know.
Now, here's the deal, Thrive Nation. You can email us your questions to info@thrive15.com. And one of you emailed in, how many months would I need to be a business coach client before I see a return? And here's the deal. I'm going to show you the proven plan. But before I do, I'm going to say 3 horrible things. And I would like Z, if I'm wrong, if I'm exaggerating, if it's hyperbole,
Okay.
you tell me.
Okay.
1, if you do the right thing and you grow your business for 5 years and you do the right thing, you implement this system, you will eventually be sued or accused of doing something you didn't do. Is this real?
Yes, absolutely. It usually more so than not. I would give that above a 50-50 chance of being yes, true.
Oh, so you will be sued. That's a good. Second thing, you will, if you implement this proven plan, you will have a competitor who will say something bad about you to a large group of people.
Oh, that's absolutely true. That one's absolutely true. Yeah.
3, if you do this, you will have employees that don't like you.
Absolutely true. There's no doubt about that. You can't be a successful entrepreneur. I know it sounds crazy, but you can't be, because what happens is it's not the really good employees that you have a problem with, or the really bad ones you have a problem with, because they're easy to sort out.
That's right.
You're like, hello, goodbye. I mean,
Hello,
those are
goodbye.
easy categories, right?
Bye-bye.
It's those average ones that you put up with year after year after year that pull down the productivity of your business, that the ones you struggle with. You're like, oh, Billy is just, some days he's pretty good, and some days he's okay, and some days he's an idiot. And it's hard to find good people. I mean, that's
So
what
let's go
everybody
with the
says,
United Airlines for 4,000 points. Now, we're up to 4,000 points now. The person, tell me if I'm getting something wrong here. There's somebody who is getting on a plane at United Airlines.
Yeah.
And every airline, they always oversell the tickets by about 3%. Because
that's
there's
the
people
move.
that don't show up.
Right, that's the move.
So they want to leave with a full plane. So it's a move. And there's a member of their team who decided to pull somebody off the plane basically by their head.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, you're listening to The Thrivetime Show.
You can go on YouTube and watch it. They're dragging the person off the plane. And the question I have for all the Thrivers out there, I have this question for Justin, obviously for you, Dr. Z, because you are a man, you're a man who's internationally in the know here. Justin, he has a pulse on men's grooming. He knows the men of Tulsa. So we know these things, right? You guys are. So let me ask you this. What was the name of the employee who pulled the person off of the plane?
Billy? I don't know.
Justin, do you know?
I've been under a rock for.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying is nobody knows, and everybody is now mad at United. And I can tell you, in their handbook, their CEO didn't write there, whenever the plane is overbooked, grab somebody by the head and pull them off the plane. No, I guarantee you there's a protocol for that. But somebody made a bad decision, and so now the company has hell to pay. Correct. That's what always happens. So here's the deal. We're going to show you this proven plan. And so, example number 1, there's a company in Tulsa called Face and Body. They're right here at 96th and Riverside. They're an active client. They implemented the system I'm going to teach you right now, and they grew by 200% within 4 months. All right? And what they did is this. Step number 1, they had to launch effective search engine optimization. Okay? Step number 2, they had to gather the Google reviews. Drivers, I'm giving you time to write this down. Search engine optimization, which we did for them.
Search engine optimization.
2, they must gather the reviews from the customers, the Google reviews.
Hopefully they're good reviews.
3, they had to write a proven script. 4, the Dream 100, where they market to their ideal and likely buyers. 5, they do retargeting ads. 6, social media. 7, video marketing.
You were kind of right. You were kind of good. You were not giving them time to write there. At the
1,
end, by the way.
search engine optimization.
Now that's
2, customer review gathering. 3, call scripting. 4, Dream 100, from the word Dream 100. 5, retargeting. That's targeting again. 6 is social media marketing for all the Facebookers out there, all the Twitters, all the people out there. And then video marketing. So, Justin, when they're implementing this move, I know you don't know anything about Face and Body, but when they implement this, their leads are coming in, they're topping Google. I mean, the logic, it's already done. I mean, they're getting leads coming in. What would you guess would have been the problems that they ran into once the leads start coming in? They've got the script. You own a business. You've got close to 90 employees there now. What kind of problems do you think might have happened there?
Just off that flow. So now you got your leads out there, your marketing, your SEO, and all of a sudden you look around and you're like, I need employees. I need people, competent people to execute. Right?
So, and here's the deal, and I don't want to say anything about a thriver out there. It's nothing but positive. Just give me an example, but this is just about most clients in general. Once they start getting leads, they've got to find a competent person to respond to the leads. And because we're in a culture where people don't answer the phone if they don't know the number, you got to call, text, and email your leads. So we had a person on our team who had no experience, and I said, you know what? While you're looking for a person, I will have a member of my team do it. And so I paid the person on my team $10 per appointment. They set for a cosmetic surgery doctor with no experience of the industry. And this woman typically set, true story, she would set between 40 and 60 appointments a week for me, just on fire. And yet people who were highly skilled, couldn't deliver. And so it was a people problem. Now, so they had the leads coming in. They got the call script. They got all the things, but they've got to get it done. And what I have found, and this was a client who was like, you know what, we're serious about business. We're going to make the changes. And they did it. So they, in 4 months, doubled the size of the business. But they decided, you know what, we're serious about business, but there's a motion, Z, that's in the way for the motion. The word, motion. There's an E in front of it called emotion, and that E gets in the way of taking the right action for a lot of business owners. Not for these people, but for a lot of business owners. Why does that emotional part get in the way? Why can't people just go, man, we got to make some changes?
Because I think they don't understand what being an entrepreneur is about. They think that being an entrepreneur is about is making everybody else's life around you better. And ultimately you do that. But first things first. I love that saying, first things first. First things first, you've got to make it good for yourself. That's why you're doing it. That's why you're taking the struggle. That's why you're stepping out. That's why there's no guarantees in being an entrepreneur. There's no guarantees in opening a business. It's not forewritten that okay, I'm gonna hang out my shingle and everybody's gonna come to me and give me copious amounts of money and
now I'm not ripping on Justin, and I'm praising him, but it's gonna feel like a backhanded praise. So okay. Justin, you can it's on live radio, so you can we can argue off the air. But Justin is probably the nicest. I mean this not just because he's here. He's probably the nicest, most kind, compassionate, holy crap, I'm going to give you the shirt off my back. Literally, I've seen him give clothing, dollars, invest time into people who constantly screw him. And so as you've built the elephant in the room, you started off, I think, with what Z was talking about. You wanted to make everybody around you happy. You wanted it to be like the number one mentorship business where everyone around you is taught how to be successful because you know it. And then when you do it, when you try to do it, eventually you just feel like you're fighting against the world.
You don't want to be the only guy at the party having a good time, right? You want people enjoying the music, the atmosphere with you, right? So that was my concept of the business as I grew it. Is can people stay on my level? And based off the work ethic, showing up on time, their integrity, I found that not to be true. So I agree with you 100%, Dr. Z. The business needs to serve you.
It needs to serve you first and foremost. And so that's what people sometimes I get to all the time. They come in, they have all these struggles in their business. And it really boils down to they're not willing to make the hard decisions that you have to make. Pruning is a
now
wonderful
you're getting
thing.
me going.
When we come back, I'm going to talk a bit about pruning.
We're talking about tree health here.
Yes, bush and shrubbery.
I'm so excited. Thrivetime show on your radio. My name is Clay Clark. Shrubbing Knowledge coming up next.
I'm Ken P. Lott, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Professional painting by Ken. Quite a bit of stuff. A lot of stuff I know that I needed to do but didn't know how to do it. Web page, how to hire people, sales, making a schedule, making programs. I mean, just a lot of stuff. I mean, it's overwhelming, but it's good stuff that you can actually put to practice right away. It's a lot different than I expected. Been to different workshops and you're just waiting for the sales punch, and they give you ideas and stuff, but it's always 10 years down the road when you can actually apply the stuff. that they're trying to promote, and this is not like that at all. It's very ground level, help you start a business and maintain and grow a bigger business. I like it a lot because he makes you feel comfortable, makes you laugh, so it opens you up to receive and hear better. This is great. It's a lot of interaction. You can ask him questions, you can help, if you don't understand something, he can explain it more. So it's very, very helpful. They're missing a lot because a lot of businesses probably do some of the steps that he's teaching, but there's so much they can learn into easy steps that they'll grow the business even better. It's not like any other workshop I've ever been to. It's very laid back and a lot of information, and it's a comfortable setting. It's awesome. It's a really good experience.
2, 1, go. Five, 6, 7, 8, boom. Welcome back to the Thrivetime Show on your radio. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, sent here on a mission to get you in a great financial position. Here's the deal. Dr. Zellner, he is the optometrist turned entrepreneur. And I say turned meaning that he was an entrepreneur, but he started off, his core skill was optometry. And then from there, he took the profits from that business and then opened up another business. Z, what was the next business you opened up after the optometry for those who've never heard the show before?
The order was auto auction, and then sleep center, and then durable medical equipment company, and then thoroughbred horse ranch. I have some other little side investments, but those are, you talk about businesses you open from scratch.
Yeah.
You open them up and you grow them, and then you can have other investments that you do throughout all that. But
before we went to the break, we were talking about how the businesses should be designed to serve you, and I've seen you build businesses that serve you. So how do these businesses specifically, how do they serve you? How's that different from maybe, because I see a lot of entrepreneurs where the businesses definitely do not serve them. They're a slave to their business. Each business is like, oh, frick, I've got a ton of emails to respond to. I've got a ton of employee issues. I just want to go anywhere but to my business. If I see you walk in your business all light, all like you don't feel like you're weighed down by the earth by each business, there's something about you, and I don't know what it is, but you just seem kind of like the business serves you, and you're not out there being a slave to your company.
Well, that's the purpose of it. I mean, hey, listen, do you want a job? Do you want a business? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want time freedom? Or do you want a job? Do you want to be able to do what you want to do when you wake up? Or do you want a job? Do you want to have to go punch a time clock, or do you want a business? And so the thing about it is here, we're trying to give you practical steps to take it to the next level, I mean, yes, you start off when you open your business. It is a job that you're working in very hard, very diligently. I love some of the quotes we quote. You get to pick the 80 hours you get to work, when you're an entrepreneur, when you start a business, right? But then what happens is we're trying to teach you how to transition to where, all of a sudden, you're working on the business, not in it. Oh, that's the next level. And now all of a sudden, you get to work on it as much or as little as you want as you move forward, and you have the freedoms to do those things. I mean, a lot of people. I love Jack Welch, what he said. He came to Tulsa and was in the lecture program over there at ORU, and I went and listened to him, and he had a powerful message. And one of his messages was, one of his employees said, "Listen, we can't make a light bulb unless it's green." Unless it's green for the world.
It's got to be green for the world.
It's got to be green for the world.
For the planet.
And we're going to do the planet a good thing, and we have to do it. And he said, okay, well, let's engineer that. And it would be unprofitable. It would be unsustainable. They couldn't sell a light bulb for as much as they need to sell it for. And so that when they came back to him and pitched him this, he just took them and picked them all up and went, slapped them around and said, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a great light bulb. It's going to be cheap. It's not going to be green. We're going to make a lot of money, and then we can take that money and make the world a better place.
Oh, man.
Does that make sense?
So they had to make the pragmatic, real choice, to be a realist.
Yes, to
look
be
at the
successful in
reality
business,
of it.
yes. Because if we made it the light bulb like that, nobody would buy it. We would go broke, and then we'd all be looking for jobs.
So here is the question. We're talking about these proven paths. And we have a Thriver said, hey, assuming that I joined your business coach program, how long before I could see a return? And I said, face and body, right here in Tulsa, 96th and Riverside, grew the company by 200% in 4 months. They did search engine optimization, Google reviews, call scripting, Dream 100, retargeting, social media ads, video marketing, and they did it. But I see many people that refuse to push through the emotional aspects of the business. So, Justin, you're running a company. Can you talk to me about some of the things where you're running the business? And I see this is how Justin runs the business. This is my inner dialogue. I'm running the business, having a good time. He's working. I'm having a good time. He's working. He works like 12 hours a day, 13 hours. He's just having a great time. There's no drama. I've been his partner for a long time. He doesn't call me and go, bro, I got some drama. He just works. And all of a sudden, you see it. You're like, oh, no, there is drama. And Justin, you're not stirring it up. I mean, you're just working, and all of a sudden, somebody says, hey, I can't come in today. I can't come in today, right? And then you're going, what do you mean? You're booked for a haircut. And they go, no, I can't. Talk to me with the first time you saw drama. When you're running the business, you're executing the systems, you and I are partners, we're getting stuff done. The first time, maybe not the specific example, but, the first kinds of drama you ran into. Because this is like so therapeutic for many people listening.
Yeah, so when you're building your team of people and you want them to carry that passion, carry that dream for you and with you, and work side by side, because you can't do it by yourself. But as soon as they say it's a family related or it's a car issue and they justify, and you're not understanding the logic, you're like, well, I had those same hurdles and obstacles and I overcame them. You realize that you do need employees to serve the business, serve you, and serve your customers, but that's why they'll be in that position, and they're not in the position you're in. And so once you realize that, you take the emotional aspect and you pull it away. But you always have to have that pipeline of interviews, and so you just smile them politely, and eventually, as you gain your pipeline of new hires and new people as you're growing, you don't let it ruin your day or take your joy.
I'm a guy who likes to read history, and as I think about a historical person that you could reference, you could look him up, you could read the book called the Bible. But Moses, God gave him a plan, allegedly, saying, hey, go this way. We had these Hebrews, these people who were in his group, and he has, these rules like, hey, no false gods, follow the path, do the thing. And these people complained, like, I don't know, I don't want to do it. Are you the leader? I don't know. Does God really have a plan for us? And they would constantly... And if you look at Moses, it wasn't an easy deal, I mean, the first manager in the history of the world, Aaron, it didn't go so well for him. It's like, Aaron, check it out. Please don't make a false god, and no group sexual activities, please. Just keep the clothes on. Don't melt down calves. Don't make false gods, please. That's my rule. I'm going up to the mountain to talk to God, the actual creator of the planet. All I need is for you to man the fort. He's like, absolutely. He goes up there. What does Aaron do? He comes down. There's false gods. It's all in the Bible. There's false gods. They're sacrificing stuff. He's like, bro. I mean, and that's what happens when you, and so see, I want to, for the entrepreneur out there who says, listen, I went up to the mountain for just a minute, not to go, talk to God maybe, but to go on a date with my wife or to go to a movie. I come back and maybe there's not golden calves, but there's some serious destructive behavior going on. And I've only been gone for like a week or a couple of days. Yeah. What advice would you have, man?
It's okay. Take it, just when you've got an elephant in the room, pun on the word for you guys' hair grooming place. You just eat it one bite at a time. You got to just fix the problems. You got to step in, be proactive. You've got to figure out what happened, and then you've got to work to fix it. I mean, think about it as boss. When you're a boss, when you own the business.
Oh, come on now.
When you own the business, you are what we would call, the Spanish would say a jefe.
Jefe.
But we use the word boss here. And a boss, we've kind of broken down the acronym because we love doing kind of weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they make big
obstacles
seem
small.
Right.
Boom.
So what you do is everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is an epic failure. We've got a cat. We got whatever story. That's a great story. I love it. I love the example. Pretty over the top example, but awesome. But the thing about it is you just take it one step at a time, one bite at a time. You fix each little problem that's happened. Boom, boom, boom. They're fixable. And as a boss, you know that. What's the one?
Compartmentalize?
Yes, that's what I'm looking for sometimes.
Yeah, sure. No, I have to read your brain. I'm actually I've mic'd your brain.
I know you do. You mic pretty much every part of my life, which is pretty cool, But you just break it down. You solve it one problem at a time. You diagram them out. Your to-do list, okay, this. And then you figure out if that person that caused all that, if you want them to continue causing all those kind of problems, then you can leave them around.
I have some really embarrassing examples of trying to become a boss that were from my own career. And I'm going to ask you some questions from my earlier career of how I should have emotionally handled these things. And I want to get your direct feedback. So we're showing you the proven path, but the emotions are a part of the thing.
My name is Nikki Warren, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The name of my business is The Mocha Butterfly, and I'm a fashion designer. So I heard about the Thrivetime business workshops through a dear friend of mine, and I got a chance to meet with Clay and Dr. Z. And as I talked to them a little bit more, I loved what they were doing, and it just made me, more intrigued because I really wanted to grow my business. Well, what I've learned is that for my business in particular, marketing is needing to be, I need to step it up a lot more, and the just focusing in on some key things to get that really going is going to really get me where I want to go with my goals. I think it's fun. It's a fun atmosphere, which most business-oriented, I'm an artistic, artsy person, and I tend to lose interest very quickly if I don't have something to keep me engaged. And the humor, the real life experience, and the casualness of it is just really engaging for me, and it's just very relatable. And so for me, I am having a ball. Like, I was so excited to come yesterday. I had butterflies, literally butterflies in my stomach, and I'm just really excited to be here. Well, it's an interesting place. It's got a lot of words of affirmation and quotes and things like that. Very positive environment. The people here are very nice and friendly, and I love the way the room is set up. It's very open space type of model, and like I said, it's more of a casual environment. It's not stuffy and professional. It's professional, but it's not stuffy professional. There is a difference. And so it's very warm and inviting here. Love the teaching style, love the presentation, very organized and easy to follow. And like I said, the real life experience and the humor just adds that much more to it. I know people who go to different workshops, and I'm not sure if they're grasping all of what's being presented there, but I am almost 100% sure that if they come to a workshop like this one, they will get some great golden information that's going to help them meet their goals if they're willing to apply what they hear. There's no upselling here, which that wasn't really a big concern for me. But if I were talking to someone who's very concerned about upselling, I would tell them that they have no worries here, and that, I think that this environment is very relaxed, inviting, warm, and engaging. And so even it does actually makes you wonder, like, what else is there? I won't lie about that. So it's kind of more of an independent intrigue rather than someone pushing you into the intrigue of what else is offered. I recommend coming to this workshop because it is an intimate setting, great people. I've met some really cool people doing some cool businesses, and the teaching style and the presentation is awesome.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, Thrivers, what do you do when it's more than a feeling? When you see some trouble going on and you know there's a problem in your neighborhood, what are you going to do? You're not going to call the Ghostbusters. You're going to have to fix it if you own the business. And so it's the Thrivetime Show, business school without the BS. And I'm going to get right down into the dangerous, hot sauce, scandalous stuff behind the stuff that we shouldn't talk about. But, Z, it happens in the world of business.
I tell you what, folks, you are going to have a treat, because this week, Clay, who is certified as the world's best business coach, by the way. I mean, there's just, it's certification,
organic,
like a trophy.
My body's organic.
His body's been turned. His wife Vanessa's trying so hard. I mean, he's like an organic chicken right now. I mean, that has been certified, but being the world's best business coach has been. And so we're here. This show is all about us wanting to give you the tools to build a business.
Yes.
And you may say to yourself, you know what? I'm not in the, not this year. I'm not ready. I don't want to do it. Then our other charge is this. Our other charge is to entertain you with all the horrible mistakes we've made in business throughout our lives.
Okay, so here's an example of one, okay? I had a wedding that I had a DJ company called DJ Connection.
Yes.
And this was a long time ago. It has nothing to do with the current ownership, but we had a wedding that was at 11th and Garnett at the Moose Lodge. Justin, have you ever been to the Moose Lodge for a party?
I don't believe so.
Z, have you ever been there to the Moose Lodge?
I know, but let's go. I wanna
Okay,
go.
it's the Moose Lodge, and they have there's billiard, a lot of smoke.
Wait, I'm going to Google that. What really is a moose? Is that a military branch? Is it just a service civil branch?
I would love to say that I had the curiosity to know at that time, but
I'm going to Google it while you're telling the
So
story.
I hired a DJ, and his first name will go unmentioned, but I hired the guy, and it's a popular name, so we'll call him Josh because his name was Josh. And so what happened I booked the wedding, and the girl's name is Melanie. And Melanie, if you're listening, I'm sorry, and I did pay the legal bill, so we're all good. But here's the deal. So I get a call from Melanie, 6 o'clock. I only have like 4 DJs, Justin. This guy calls me. He says, hey, man, I can't find the venue. And I go, it's at 11th and Garnett. There's nothing else there. It is definitely on the northwest corner. I can't find it. He calls me again. Next thing you know, his phone is disconnected. So that night, I'm getting calls while I'm DJing a wedding from Melanie. She goes from concerned to worried to angry to crying to depressed to he didn't show up for her wedding.
Oh, no.
And he swears he couldn't find it, and he said he had a car accident, couldn't find his phone, died, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So anyway, about a year later, that's about 9 months later, I see this guy at a party, and he has a new baby. And I said, that's a great new baby.
Well, that's a great babies
Look
are
at
great.
that baby.
Yeah, look at that baby.
And he goes, I got to be honest with you. This baby, that night I said I couldn't get to the show, this is what got caught up. And this girl, we were hooking it up. And so I just wanted you to know, I swear to God, this is a true story. And so I am there at this party, and I have just forgiven him probably 5 months before because he promised me at a car accident. He went through the effort of hitting his car to make a dent in the front of it and this huge thing. And he said, I made it up. I took a bat, smashed the front of it to pretend like an accident. I made a bad decision. And I'm like, dude, I got sued. I had to pay thousands of dollars. I swore to the lady that's what happened. You swore what? So emotionally, I was a young guy. I'm in my 20s, like 21, 22. Yeah. I reached over and I started to do that whole shirt grab thing that would typically end a person in jail. Yeah. And then I stopped myself, and I stayed mad for probably a month. I mean, it was a deal where people were like, how are you? And I was how should I have handled that kind of situation? Because I had a lawsuit. We missed somebody's wedding. It was the worst thing that could happen in that business at that time, back in 2001. It's the worst scenario. What should I do? What could I have done?
Well, on that note...
I mean, one was you just emotionally recover. We just
on that note, I did a little work, and since I asked a question, before I answer that question, I've got to answer the other question that I asked. The Loyal Order of Moose is a fraternal and service organization founded in 1888.
I knew that.
With nearly 1 million men and roughly 2,400 lodges. That's removed. It's the Moose Lodge, right?
Nice.
And all 50 U.S. states and 4 Canadian provinces, as well as Bermuda. Along with its female auxiliary, Women of the Moose, with more than 400,000 members and roughly 1,600 chapters. So now we have the Moose Lodge figured out.
Okay, we got to figure it out. We solved that.
Okay, so what do you do? What do you do?
I mean, it was a guy who was still working for me at the time, who'd made up this extravagant story in here because he realized he's so manipulative. At the time of the celebration of the birth of the baby, that's when he's going to tell me the knowledge.
Yeah.
Because he's like, how could you get mad at the celebration party, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not kidding. We're there at the celebration of this birth of this baby, and I want to just hit him with a rock. And I didn't do it, but I stayed so mad for so long that
Shame on you.
I mean, so how do I deal with it?
Shame on you that you let somebody else rob your joy. I mean, the thing about it is that, if your circumstances are dictating your level of happiness in your life, then that's not a good place to be. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to flip it back on you, young man. I'm going to flip it back on you, young man. What do you think your options were at that moment? What were your options? Walk me through the scenarios that could have happened. You could have, like you said, you could have grabbed him. And what'd you say on yesterday's show? You were like, take him out boxing.
It was a deal like up until age 18, the move was just punch. So like I had stopped and I got married. So I was just thinking like I'm going to box him. It'll be the first time I've boxed somebody in a while. That was my whole thing. That was my first move.
Okay, that's choice one. Okay, next.
Two was I wanted to ruin his life. I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I fire him immediately. He's not going to have a job. And I'm going to tell anybody who ever calls and says, hey, where's this guy worked the last 2 years? That this guy is the worst ever.
So you're going to take it as your mission to
ruin him.
Okay, well,
just the wrath of God.
Okay, that is an option. So we'll call that number two.
Third, my wife told me, she said, let the vengeance of the Lord, let God have his vengeance, let him do it. You just let it go.
Okay, so 3, you can let it go. Any more options?
Those are the only options that I could think of. I didn't know Guido. I didn't have a guy with a lead pipe.
Justin, can you think of any that he could have had too?
That sums it up pretty good. But I like option 2. But this, you said, ruin his life. But that would take your time, your energy, and think about what you could do with your time.
Well, that was number 2.
But it sounds like this guy was doing it to himself already. Like he was ruining his own life. You just kind of let him go.
He's very happy about.
He's
like,
happy about ruining his own life.
Yeah.
I would give you a 4th option.
What was that?
As the old bull in the room.
Come on now,
I would
old
give
bull.
I would give you the 4th option in the room. And this might have been the most difficult one.
Give me
but
promotion.
I'm gonna throw this out there, okay?
Yep.
Because I can. 4, you would terminate him and forgive him and go on with your life.
You gotta forgive. You gotta fire and forgive.
Fire and forgive. Because if you don't, it'll haunt you. It'll eat at you. You'll be on antacids. You'll be upset. You just got to forgive. Because unforgiveness only affects the person who's not forgiving. It only eats you. It only eats you up. I mean, he's happy. He's got a new baby. I mean, he's rocking around. Woo, look at my new baby. I'm going to call him Clay. Whoa, that should get me out
Yeah, that
of
was
trap.
like the total kind of move was going on there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it. The thing about it is you say, listen, you've sorted out what kind of person he is now. And so shame on you. Get you once, okay. Get you twice? Really? I don't think so. So you say, listen, I've decided that we're going to part ways and it's not working out. You need to move on. And then you need to just take a deep breath and forgive him and go on with life and not even as hard as it's easier said than done. The whole kind of not thinking about it.
I will forgive you with a lead pipe. I will take a lead pipe and forgive you with it. Look, I'm forgiving your forehead. I'm forgiving your body.
Come meet my
forgive your
shovel
leg.
named Billy.
Oh,
Come
look
here.
at
Hey,
Step into my.
I'll let you dig the hole. How's that?
Why don't you jump in the river? I hit you over the head with a mallet. I forgive you.
No. You let him go.
Okay.
And then you forgive him, and you move on in life.
We come back. We're talking more about the difficulties of executing a proven plan.
My name is O'Neal Bent, and I'm from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I first heard about the business workshops through my wife, Sharita Bent, and I learned a lot more from her, and also got follow-up calls from different members of the organization. Some of the things I've learned about starting my business through Thrive is making sure I'm spending my money on the things I need to spend it on. For instance, like my search engine optimization, my marketing, constantly reviewing the content that I have on my website, and that's just a few of the things. The overall experience I've had from the Thrivetime workshop has been wonderful. I love how everything that we learn is practical. It's not based off of book knowledge. It's not based off of someone else's ideas. It's based off things that have actually worked and have been tried and true. When you walk in, I mean, we came into a smell of wood burning. There's a chimney outside, so we walked to the building. And when you get inside, you almost feel like there's like I don't know if it's like a pub / club / work environment. It just feels really good. You have music blaring, friendly faces, people saying hello. And then when you sit down in your seat, you have nice, comfortable chairs, a wooden desk to work on, and everything looks modern. So it's a really refreshing feeling. Clay's presentation and teaching style is very efficient, effective. It's also endearing though, because he's very comical. He'll talk about different things he's been through, and they're all very funny. But he also hits the exact points he needs to hit at the right time. You never feel like, man, is he ever going to stop talking? You always want to keep listening, and then when it's the bathroom break time, you're surprised it's already there. So I like how he talks about these practical experiences, and it's very enjoyable. The interaction of the workshop is mostly Clay will give you information that you need to know, but then he also opens it up for questions. So there's always this question and response type of situation. And then there's certain things where he'll direct you to do things, and it's because he knows that that's the way to go. You might question it, but I highly encourage you just to listen and do. And to jump into a business and think that you know everything is the most prideful, arrogant thing you could ever do. But to come here and to speak to someone who's already done this many times has directed several businesses and can give you wisdom and information. I think it's wonderful. And I think you can never do anything on your own. You have to have other people around you to help you. And he's definitely helpful. The experience I've had at coming to Thrivetime workshops is I was never upsold anything. I mean, I come in, they do exactly what they say they're going to do, and they leave it up to you to follow up and do the work. And I think that's the way it should be. So it's very straightforward, and they do what they say. I recommend that everybody should check out Thrivetime Workshop because there's so much knowledge and information there that you can use to help you run your business. And like I said before, I don't think you can do anything completely on your own. And when you have so much resource and knowledge in one area, you can use all of that and get exactly what you need.
All right, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show on your radio. Dr. Z, DJ Z in the house. Dr. Z, your music mastery has really taken, it's gone to another level here recently, and I've noticed it since we started doing the radio show.
Yeah.
First, your appreciation for barbecue has really gone up to the next level. I mean, you now have studied the beans. You now know the world's best beans are... And the world's best baked beans are irrefutably, and it's proven. They're over there at Oklahoma Joe's. You know this, and then you got into the music game. It's just like, man, you're already a very knowledgeable guy, but you're now becoming almost like a wizard, where we could sit you down on any given Jeopardy show, and you could answer all the questions.
Well, that's what I'm aspiring towards. You know, now that I have time freedom and financial freedom with my businesses, that's the thing I'm looking for, and. Also, you inspire me with your old DJ company, and speaking of hurt feelings and employees that hurt your feelings and people that have hurt your feelings and forgiveness and all the stuff we were just talking about in the last segment, I have a grievance with you.
You do?
Yes, I have a grievance.
Is there bitterness?
It's not quite bitterness because I don't try to carry that around, but it's more like deep disappointment.
It's kind of hate mixed with really. It's vengeance.
Well, if you took like brown sugar and put like disappointment in it, it'd be like bittersweet. It'd be like it's kind of.
Well, tell what is going on. Let it off your heart.
Well, back in the day, your wife worked for me. I met you. I gave you one of your early DJ gigs, and you just exploded. And then you were doing like 4,000 or 5,000 events a year. You were just rocking and rolling. And then, of course, you sold the business, and now you're out of the DJ business. But all the years you're ramping that up and just rocking it and just killing it. I was sitting there thinking behind my desk, I know surely he's going to ask me one time out of 4,000 or 5,000 events per year, per annum, to come be a guest DJ. And you know how many times? You know how many times?
Serious. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I dedicate that to you, Z.
And you know how many times you asked me?
Well, if you round it up, I mean, if you really look at the data, if you skew it up, you look at it, you look at the trends, I'd be 0. Z, I have a song that I'm going to cue up for you right now because this goes out to you, and I want you to know this is from the bottom of my heart, the bottom left corner of my heart. Listen to Your Heart by Roxette, and if you listen to your heart and you need to tell the Thrive Nation what's going on in your heart right now. What's tugging at your heartstring, my man? Let it out. Let it flow.
I was hurt. I was crushed. I was disappointed.
Oh.
And you know what? I was so hurt I couldn't even talk to you about it. You'd pass by, pick up your wife. You'd pass by in life. And I just look at you with that look like, you know what I want.
You would pump gas a lot of times with your cell phone on, like you didn't even care about life anymore. You were just wanting it to explode.
Ask me the question I know that's burning in your mind to ask me.
It's kind of like a couple in middle school where the girl wants to ask the girl wants the guy to ask, and the guy's going, I know you want me to ask, and he doesn't do it, so he passes a note.
You got the dance. It's the last
that
song.
Awkward tension.
It's the last song in junior high.
That's what was happening.
Dance. You're up against the wall, and you're looking out on the other side of the wall, and they're over by the punch bowl. Is that person that you want to ask, to dance? And you're
Ashley.
Like, Ashley.
Or Amanda.
Or Amanda.
Someone from the 80s.
And you never asked me to DJ, so now what I'm going to do, I put it on my bucket list.
Yeah.
And I am throwing out a Thrive15.com challenge.
How is this possible?
What is that? That you go to info@thrive15.com, you write a little compelling story, email to us, and we're going to choose one event this year. Hopefully it's going to be a cool event at a cool place. We're going to provide, Clay and I are going to come and DJ together. We'll bring all the equipment. It won't cost you anything. And I'll be able to check that off my bucket list. And it's going to be a fabulous, glorious, fun, fantastic night.
I don't want to overhype it, but a lot of hotels, they have a 13th floor that they don't put on the elevator thing. They have like floor 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12. They skip 13 because they think it's kind of bad luck. Let me tell you what, we're taking you to the 13th floor. No one's ever been there. It's the undiscovered country. And when you get there, you're going to be the Christopher Columbus of weddings. And you will discover an entirely new way of weddings.
Which boat do we take them in? The Santa Maria, the Pinta?
Well, we're going to bring some extra shoes. We can boil them if we run out of food. And so we're going to be one on the
Perfect.
Yeah, so the Nina. We'll call it the Nina.
Oh, the Nina. That would be the one, the Nina, yes.
So let us transform your norm.
Let us do this for you. We're going to do one, boom, drop the mic. Check it off my bucket list. And then, you know what? Then I'll finally be able to heal that little part of my heart.
I want you to listen to Your Heart by Roxette until your brain explodes, because that's going to feed your soul.
That little scar tissue is right there. It's just going to help heal it.
Now, we have Justin, the founder of Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge, on the show today. And as you guys know, the Thrive Nation here, the Thrivetime show is all about the business coach experience that you can't get anywhere else. That's what we're all about, is teaching you, coaching your business on how to grow. And so, Justin, you're growing your business. Things are going well. This is kind of the inner dialogue that I can hear inside your head. You're going, whistle while I work, boop, 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 and I'm having a good time, boop, 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 and we're making some money, boop, 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 boop. We got thousands of members, boop, 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 and then somebody comes in to the place, and they fake an injury. We have cameras everywhere. We know it's not a real injury, but they fake it. Has this ever happened to you, my friend?
Oh, yeah. So as you grow your business, you're going to have people come, people go. Don't get emotionally attached. It's just part of the growth. You're not going to have everyone forever. This is not a good fit. You need to free them on to better and bigger things. But along the way, work, whether it's just sitting at a desk or manual labor, people fake injuries, or they say I've been sitting too long or standing too long. I've heard them all, and you look at this person and you think they want to try to get something for free, or this is how they have learned success in life, or this is what they were taught.
And at first, how did you feel the first time this happened to you? Tell me, walk me through your heart, your brain, your soul. What were you thinking? I mean, what was going on in your head?
Yeah, so you've worked hard and on your business, and you feel like someone's trying to take it from you, or take some of that profit, and so it makes you angry or upset. It makes you all these emotions that we were just talking about.
See, on a practical level, how do you handle it? Because people are going to fake injuries. It's happened to me all the freaking time. What on a practical level, what are the steps? I mean, when you're a business owner and somebody fakes an injury, and you got them, they're faking it. What do? Do you call an attorney? Walk me through what to do, my man? I mean, emotionally and then actually literally. I mean, what are the steps?
Well, here's the deal. You've got workman's comp, and it's a big, it's dirty. It's just a scam, and it's not fun. It's not friendly. And I would tell you out there, you turn it over to your workman's comp claims, and then you let them handle it. And you realize that people out there some people are going to. Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
I've gone into businesses before that have treated me as if I'm the one that's showing up that day to rob from them. Because as you know, every business that has, say, 100 people that come in it, there's one that's trying to steal glasses from me. There's one trying to beat me out of something. There's one there's one out of the 100 that's always trying to, write you a bad check. I mean, they're just trying to scam you in some capacity. And maybe 1%'s on the high side, but let's for the fun of today's easy math. Easy math button, okay? So here's what happens. Some business owners do this. They say, okay, buddy, gather around. There's going to be one in today.
Here we go.
He's coming in. I know it. I feel it. Every day. He's coming in. It could be a she. We don't know. So what we're going to do is we're not going to let him get us. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to treat everybody as if they're that crook. And then that crook ain't going to be able to get us. But by doing that, you make 25, 30 of them go, "Ooh, this just doesn't feel good in here. I'm going to, oh gosh, I got to write you. I got to give you 3 credit cards and 2 checks, and I got to give you cash to do the transaction. And you got to keep my driver's license until my check clears. Yeah, I don't think I want to do business here. Yeah, but you're not going to get me."
Z, I remember back in the day, the first time that someone wrote me a hot check at DJ Connection.
Oh yeah,
I could feel it. That anybody could be the next person.
And you know what? They're all suspect. At
and
that
I
point.
hadn't had this talk with you yet. I'm not kidding. This is a true story. I remember telling the guys, if anyone tries to write you a check, you shut them down.
You shut them down.
You shut them down. You shut them. You make them show ID.
Yeah.
You look them in the face and you shut them. You shut them down like Janet Reno.
You take their car keys until that check clears.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, if somebody calls to book a wedding, you get 4 phone numbers because they're going to book a fake address.
And
We've
call
had
them
this
all right
happen.
there while you're sitting there.
Somebody has booked a fake address to try to get a refund and sue us for not showing up for their wedding. You get a verification and you get 4 numbers. I'm not kidding. I told the guys, you get 4 numbers and you double verify that address. Like, what does that even mean? You triple verify it. You get that. I mean, it was like a deal where I said, and if a DJ loads out, what I want to do, I want to put like a homing pigeon, that could go home in his car.
In his car.
I want a GPS.
Yes, that.
You embed that crap in his arm. I want to embed a GPS chip in the arm of every DJ. And if he writes a check, we don't even look at checks. I don't even want to hear that word check again.
And that's what I'm saying. And then what happens is, yeah, that one doesn't get you. Well done. Oh, the one that was coming in to get you, they don't get you. But what you do is you run off the other 25, 30, 35, 50%, the ones that want to do business with you.
I can feel it, Z. It's coming any moment. Stay tuned. Thrivetimeshow.com.
I'm Sam Parker.
Okay. I'm Karina Parker.
We live here in town.
We're looking to be in the food industry. Thrivetime workshops, we've learned about advertising and what we need to do to get our name out there, what we need to do to get to the top of Google, the necessary steps that we need to take right now to get to where we want to be.
The Thrivetime workshop experience is really encouraging, and it's great hands-on information and stuff that we can relate to, because we're able to talk to people here that are going through the same stuff that we are.
There's motivation everywhere. If you don't feel motivated, then something's wrong with you.
He's very upbeat.
All over the walls.
Yeah. He's very funny, like a comedian, but at the same time, he wants you to learn. And so if you have any questions, he's willing to help you and talk you through any questions that you have, but at the same time making it fun and encouraging for you.
He's also very candid. He doesn't hold anything back that most people are like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say that because it's offensive.
Yeah, you can tell he's being real.
He doesn't care about offending people.
Yeah, he just wants to help you.
So I heard an advertisement that said to leave your wallet at home, and that's what it's been the whole time. It hasn't been like, oh, make sure you stop by our table in the back and buy 10 books and sign up for a 2-year subscription with us. It was just like, hey, what we do offer, there wasn't pressure, and it's a month-to-month thing. It's not like you're signing your life away.
One, Thrive Nation. Z, I could feel at any moment the Thrive Nation. The Thrive Nation has to become a conspiracy group. That's what we're trying to do here. The business owners out there, if you've ever been screwed, you have 2 options. One, you can become a conspiracy theorist. You can have black helicopters. You're looking around all the time. You're watching your film all the time. You record every call. You listen to every call. You trust no one. You see. You just become a conspiracy. You could do that. Or Z, you could let it go. We could let it go, right? Could you not let it go?
Yeah.
So walk me through if I'm a business owner and I've had an employee lie on their resume. Again, we're talking about, someone asked us a question, a very simple question. They said, how many months would I need to be a business coach client before I see a return? I said, well, 1, for face and body. They did 200% return in 4 months. Well, Kirkpatrick and Lye, he's an orthodontist. I've worked with the guy for 5 years. He has locations now in Tulsa, Tahlequah, Miami, Okmulgee, just opened up one in Joplin. And what we did for him is we did search engine optimization. We gathered customer reviews. We did call scripting. We did the Dream 100. We did the retargeting ads, and we did social media ads, and we did video marketing. And you know what? The guy has grown. But there's these emotional issues that are going to happen. They're so predictable. I see it over and over and over and over and over. So Z, when people apply for a job, especially in the medical field, where there's HIPAA and there's all sorts of, there's a lot of oversight. There's a lot of insurance. It's very regulated. have you ever had somebody lie on their resumes? Has this ever happened to you where someone made up a qualification or certification that they did not have? I'll start with you, my friend.
Well, I tell you what, take out a coin.
Take out a coin.
Everybody take out a quarter right now. Or if you're driving, just you keep driving. But if you're sitting there, you can take out and you can flip it.
I'm gonna get my coin music out.
And if it lands on we'll say tails, there's a good chance something on the resume is not correct.
What?
Yeah. If it lands on head, there's a good chance something on everything on the resume is correct.
You're saying 50-50, bro?
Google it. It's close enough to that if you're going to, if you want to go outside and cage fight over
here's the thing is Time Magazine would argue with you. They said that 56% of candidates are lying on their resume.
Well, okay, 6%.
That's Time Magazine. Now, that's the article called "You Won't Believe How Many People Lie on Their Resumes." Now, that's sort of negative. That's a negative way to take the show. But, as a positive news, according to Gallup, this is a good stat from Gallup, a little more than 70% of people dislike their jobs, and over 13% are actually trying to hurt the business. Now, that was a negative stat.
Those are negative stats, and that's why as a business owner,
that's not a positive stat.
I know, and that's why when people say, "Oh, you're so mean about talking about firing people," and a lot of times you come in and we were talking about pruning earlier, and pruning is a very healthy thing. It actually increases.
Increases?
So you're telling me, whoa. Let me get this straight. You're telling me that if I have a healthy tree, a healthy bush, a healthy fruit tree or fruit bush, and if I go and I actually prune, if I cut off, expertly talking, if I cut off actual living tissue off of that, it's going to stimulate more production in the next growth season. Is that what you're saying?
What you just said, I want to repeat it back here. I was trying to take notes of it. Let me repeat back what you said here.
Okay,
I recorded.
right.
I'm trying to process, and I recorded what my mind thought you just said.
Oh, okay. Well, this side be it.
All right, let me try it again one more time. Let me cue it back up. All right, so what does that mean?
Well, that means that if you love something, you'll prune it. If you love something, care about it, you'll prune it because pruning's healthy. Pruning creates more growth. I love Jack Welch. I like quoting Jack Welch.
I love when you quote Jack Welch. It gets me going when you quote Jack Welch.
He's like he says, I didn't say this, I'm quoting him, so, don't send the emails on me. But a good public execution is sometimes good for the business.
Wait a minute. There might be somebody who is not happy with that quote. Could you repeat it again?
Do I have to?
I can't wait for them to put it on Facebook again. Here we go.
Execution or hanging, if you want, is good for the business. In other words, they see you pruning it actively. They see you cutting off something that's going to stimulate growth.
Did that on Thursday.
Yep. Well, there you go. So by pruning is not an unhealthy thing. It's actually a very healthy thing. And if you look at your business as if it were a blueberry bush, or some type of fruit-bearing bush,
it could be pomegranate.
You may not like
pomegranate.
Is that a bush or?
It's a pomegranate bush tree.
Okay, bush tree. I don't.
It's a hybrid. If you knew anything about hybrids, you would have known that.
It's an EcoBoost tree.
I want to ask Justin this. Justin, you have hired people, and I've seen it happen. This is how I would describe the Justin Moore experience. And if you disagree, you tell me. I believe you went out there and said, you know what? I'm going to mentor people in my business. I'm going to teach as many people as possible how to become successful after you did it, because that's your heart. You're like a giver. You're a good guy. And then I think over time you realized, okay, got screwed once, got screwed twice, got screwed by a guy at my own wedding party, got screwed again, and you just keep seeing it. And then eventually it's like, so now I've seen you settle into what I could consider a sustainable mindset. This is what I'm seeing from my perspective, is you're now going, you're still the kind of guy you used to be, but it's almost like people have to earn that respect now. They have to earn that entrance into your... but how would you describe? I don't know. That's just my perspective. But talk to me about the Thrivers out there who are like, "Oh my gosh, I trusted someone. They lied on their resume. I trusted someone. They faked an injury. I trusted someone. They stole cash." Talk to me about how. Just what's your mindset now? What advice would you have?
Yeah. So if you have a business where you're providing a service or a tangible item, you probably want to benefit the community or benefit someone by that service or by that item, right? So you're being generous by offering that service. And then you also are generous by hiring people and giving a place to work, to feed their families, to grow, to make income, right? And so you trust their word, you trust their resumes, what they say. And early on that was me, and then you realize that people will justify their actions. And so whatever circumstance they find themselves in that day or that week, they may do something against their previous character. And so you get upset. And it's like, oh my gosh. So along the way, you need to learn from those. And so you can't become bitter, but you just become better by understanding and put yourself in a situation not to.
I'm thinking of very hot recent scenarios that are good ones. Z, we had a guy who refused to fill out his handbook and worked there for less than 48 hours and then wants to file workman's comp or wants to file unemployment, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for the entrepreneur out there who says, hey, you guys worked for me for less than 2 days. He refuses to fill out the handbook and he wants to file unemployment as a threat. What is the practical, first off, what's the practical step I should take? And then second, emotionally, how do I handle it?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You just release it. And, if he's threatening, I don't know what he's threatening with. I mean, if he wants to do it, he can go do it. I mean, it's the law and people can file. Even if you take them from full-time to part-time, they can still file unemployment on you. And people get so upset about unemployment. I've seen entrepreneurs spend, I shouldn't say waste, but spend hours typing and writing and emailing and coming to grips with, because the only way you can really deny, in Oklahoma, to the best of my knowledge, I'm not a workplace attorney. I will say that preferences, but to my understanding, the only way you can not give someone unemployment compensation is if they were willfully trying to hurt your business. Well, we all know there's some employees out there trying to do that.
I think the only two that I know of is that they willfully try to hurt your business. You have proof of it, and if they write a letter of resignation saying they're choosing to go. I mean,
no. Even if they quit,
really,
even if they quit, they can still get. Yes, they can still get. Yes, sir.
Well, see, this is why he's here. He's been through it. You've seen.
I've been through it.
25 years of scams.
I think you're helping a lot of people out right now.
I've been through it many times, and I will tell you that your time is better off. The little bit that costs you out of your pocket, the hard dollars that really results in it, because there is some hard dollars that result in it, you'd be better off going forward and spending your time on making more money, because your time's precious. You only have so much, and don't waste it on.
You know what?
Is idiot's too strong a word?
No,
I don't mean that in a.
No, I don't mean.
I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm just trying to you get to choose where you spend your time, and you can choose it. Chasing those kind of problems.
As your accountability partner, I wanted to give you some synonyms you could have used.
Okay,
and maybe
that's
one
fair.
you find
That's
one
fair.
that's better.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
One is a fool.
Okay, yes.
One is a half-wit.
Okay.
A dunce. An ignoramus.
Yeah.
A cretin.
Yeah.
A moron. An imbecile.
Okay.
I think if you said imbecile, that would have felt nice. A simpleton. Simpleton, in my mind, would have felt nicer. So if you could, just for future reference, we could just say simpleton, or a complete moron. That would be
a complete moron.
Less mean, I think. Now, Thrivers, I want to tee up this thing here. Sam, our producer, okay? Sam, our producer, does a great many things. He's probably Tulsa's number one a hobby mechanic as well, and he's a power lifter. I mean, the guy's got these whole different. He's like a ninja.
He's a lumberjack, for goodness sakes.
He really is. He's a lumberjack ninja. And so what happens is, Sam, the Hummer, I haven't driven the Hummer in 6 months, right? Because, my dad's going away party thing. I backed over a bunch of nails. It had a bunch of stuff that had to be fixed, and the battery went dead. You take it to a place, and you said there's how many warning lights that went on?
There's 19 check engine codes.
Okay. And so, the thing is, we have 19 that go on. You go, okay, there's some things we got to do here. Well, I have noticed with business owners, when you don't measure your key performance indicators, and then you finally audit your business with a business coach, you're going to find 19, what, Sam? 19 what's?
Check engine codes.
Okay, we have 19 check engine. So you're going to sit down with a business coach, right? You go to thrivetimeshow.com, you schedule your meeting, and we're going to find probably 19 check engine codes. So Z, let's just say that you've discovered, Justin and I are going through this right now. We're going through deep diving on accounting as we take the elephant in the room into franchising. We're really getting into the details and really refining it. When you find errors or issues, how do you emotionally process? Like, let's say you're auditing your company, or let's say you're diving into the numbers, or let's say there's just some epiphany that occurs where you go, oh my gosh, I'm being robbed, or oh my gosh, the numbers aren't right, or oh my gosh, I can't believe we've auto-subscribed for that $3,000 a month service, or whatever. I mean, talk to you. How do you emotionally process when you see that many check engines? Because I'm sure it's happened in your business at one point where you discovered.
Absolutely.
And your auto auction story is the best, about the non-payment collection. This is my favorite story you've shared on the show.
That's so you're. You want me?
Can you share it again? 'Cause it's the best. It's the best. It's awesome. It's a good. You've already shared it before, so it's good knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get to that in just a second. But I mean, you asked me how whenever you go in and you have all the check engine lights, how do you process it? Well, I processed it different when I was a 30-year-old man than now that I'm a 52-year-old man.
Yeah.
And what happens in life is you have with these things, what I like to refer to as your high water mark.
Okay.
We last weekend we got a lot of rain here in Tulsa. We had some little flooding little areas around town and whatnot. And you have what they call a high water mark. You can go to the old oak tree and you can say, well, back in 1975, look how high the floods were then.
I swear back in 1947, the water was never higher. Back in 85, the flood in Tulsa was huge over there. In Riverside, ORU was underwater.
It's kind of like Noah. I mean, his water mark was, just a little bit higher.
A little bit higher.
So what you do is you figure out, you're like, at some point you go, well, okay, that's not as bad as it was, a few, 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, it's not as high as a high water mark, but you also realize that as being the boss and being the one that can do something about all the check engine lights, you take a deep breath, you say, okay, let's just, as we said earlier, bosses make big
obstacles,
same,
small.
And so you do that in your own mind too, and so you say, okay, now that I found the problem, thank goodness I found it, because that's what our in-person workshops do more than not, is people come in and go, oh, that's why my business isn't growing. I don't know what I don't know. So every now and then, that's why we love business coaching. We love going in and popping the hood on the truck, the old Hummer, and getting in there and starting it up and connecting it to the computer and figuring out, what engine lights are going off. So then you know what to fix. So you can sit there all day and turn the key and, nothing's happening.
That's why I gave it to Sam. I said, Sam, just make it happen. Because there's a litany of issues, I'm sure. And I can't. Let's give it to an expert here. Now Sam is.
Now let me deal with the auto auction story now. You want me to do that?
Well, we got to come back after the break. This story.
Oh, we're to tease him with it.
See, we have to hit the brakes right on point, because we have these great advertisers. We've got Oklahoma Joe's. You got Regent Bank.
Yeah.
You've got some great Robertson Tires. I mean, there's some great people out there. And what you got to do is you got to make sure that you hit that brake, Z. So you can't give away this special story. When we come back, though, this story, it almost made me cry when I heard the story.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
No, I'm serious. It sucked my soul, and I felt bad, and I felt like I needed to do something, but there's nothing I could do. And you've made it through it. You're still smiling.
Oh, yeah.
You're just looking incredible. I'm excited. It's the Thrivetime Show on your radio. Check it out, thrivetimeshow.com.
My name is Sean Lohman, and I'm from here in Tulsa, actually, Owasso. I own a residential redevelopment company, so I buy properties and then I fix them up and then I sell them for a profit. Well, Thrive is very non-industry specific. So when we come here, there's business owners from all different aspects of business. They're doing all different industries, and he's teaching us how to look at it from that angle, because he owns 9 businesses. Clay Clark owns 9 businesses, so he knows what's in common with all of them. So he's teaching these big principles, things like just the backbone of how a sales conversation should look, or specifically what your marketing campaign needs to look like in order to make it be sustainable. Those are some of the biggest things that I'm going to take away and implement immediately. It's an intimate environment. There's less than 30 people here, business owners, so you get a chance to ask questions, and it's just really informative and inspiring. Oh, this place is cool. There's a lot going on in here. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of inspiring and motivational things on the walls, and lots of accomplishments, and just a very cool yet productive atmosphere. I'm coming in here yesterday, and there's a sales team in here. It was Friday, so they're ringing appointment bells and hitting gongs when they're making sales, and it's just a really motivating environment to be in, to see how business is done, basically. Clay's presentation style is really great. This is kind of a no BS, very direct sort of style, but he'll also get non-specific with what he's teaching, and then he'll get very specific, and he'll use stories throughout the process to really help it connect to you and make it implementable. Consistently, he's offered an opportunity to ask questions at the end of each workshop, and so that's really where the learning takes place, is asking those questions and getting those direct answers, so that we can take those action items away from that. I don't see enough questions being asked, and sometimes that's just natural, but if people are missing out on the opportunity to ask questions, they're missing out on the opportunity to learn. And so if there's anything that's going to stop you from learning and growing, it's you. If you're here, you're going to learn and grow, as long as you're motivated to do that. And these other seminars that I went to 6 actually in the last year. So of these 6, at every single opportunity, at the end, there's always a back of the room thing. Hey, you can spend a little money here and get this or that or this. And although those things are helpful, that's not always necessarily the best feeling we want to get. So he wants us all to know, and he's very clear about the fact that he's not trying to upsell us anything. His motivations are different. He's not trying to sell us. He's trying to help us. He's trying to mentor us. And he's very open about it. So I'd say it's awesome. That aspect of it's awesome. We need more people who are motivated in this world. We need more people who are willing to become entrepreneurs, who are willing to create jobs. We need more of that. There's not enough of it. So that's, to me, the message. That's the goal, is mentor 1 million people is this company's idea. And it's a beautiful idea, and I'm behind it 100%. So I want to contribute in any way I can as I move forward. This is just awesome.
All right, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show on your radio. We're talking today about how to make your business grow, the proven path. As a business coach, we can show you the path. We can also help you execute the path. But what happens is when you begin to execute the plan, many of you have begun to email us questions, about the same kinds of questions. You're implementing these systems. And so the question came in. It says, how many months would I need to be a business coach client before I see a return? Well, I told you, Face and Body, within 4 months, basically doubled sales. Kirkpatrick and Lyon over the last 5 years has now, they're in Tulsa, Tahlequah, Miami, Okmulgee, and now Joplin. The Tulsa Oilers, in 28 months, they've now set their season ticket record for the most attendance sold ever in a season, the most for a game. And how are they doing it? Well, the Tulsa Oilers specifically are implementing key performance indicators, call scripting. You can write these down here. Key performance indicators are measuring the numbers. Second is call scripting. 3 is they have a no-brainer ad. It's basically 4 tickets for $10. You really need to check it out. Go to TulsaOilers.com to get the info. Social media ads, retargeting ads. That's the ads that follow you around all over the internet. Search engine optimization. So they're coming up top in Google for the things you're looking for. Video marketing. The Dream 100, they market to local businesses. But see, when people start to execute a system, a lot of people aren't like the Oilers. They don't execute everything because they get this emotional blockage. They run into drama. And your auto auction was rocking. Things are going good. Allegedly, you were so excited about the auction, you were thinking about tattooing Z66AA.com on your chest. There was a lot of excitement going on. And then one day, something happened. Can you tell the Thrivers what happened?
Well, you get a call from the bank, and you're kind of like, you don't have any money.
How much money do I have? Not.
You're like, millions of dollars upside down.
Whoa, hey, well, okay, well, guys, we can work it out.
Well, we're selling a lot of cars and we're real busy and something. What's going on? Then you're like, this is not
sir,
good. This is not good.
I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm just looking at the math here, and it appears that there's less money in the account than there used to be. Actually, there's negative money in that account.
So I said to myself, this is some kind of mistake. Recheck that. And they did. And it wasn't a mistake.
And it wasn't a mistake.
And I go in.
And you go into the bank.
And I say, hey, guys. I'm not going to the auto auction. I'm like, hey, guys, what's up? What's up? What's up, Z? Hey, it's Z. Z's in the house.
Z, whoa, the boss is here.
Party,
Come on now.
It's a birthday cake in there. Come on, hey, let's get some punch. And I'm like, what's going on? And come to find out, we were doing all these, we were gathering cars. We were selling cars.
Gathering cars, selling cars.
We were paying off the transactions get the titles for the cars.
Titles for the cars. Money's coming in, money's coming out.
And then they forgot one little step.
And they forgot one thing.
To get the money.
What?
I know. They were not collecting.
Who wasn't collecting?
What?
Well, we didn't have a person responsible for that, which has been resolved post-haste. Because we just all assume, I thought, okay, surely my team knows that on the checklist of life, that if you don't have someone that is directly responsible for it, if you just have a team over it, in other words, it's kind of like, okay, guys, make sure, the last step is to get the money and then make sure it gets deposited. I mean, it's really not the last step. Depositing it, putting it in the bank account is actually the final step in the process, right? And there wasn't one person that was specifically responsible for
I
that.
can only one-up you on this story because I used to suffer from a serious jackassery. And so as a young married man, we're headed up to Minnesota for my high school.
Minnesota?
We're headed up to Minnesota, and my wife and I are having a discussion. And I'm very myopically focused, and you know this. I'll almost kill somebody while driving.
You are the world's best business coach, but you're also certified as the world's worst driver.
Yeah,
I mean, these are two certifications I know you have.
My wife says, "Can we pull over?" And I said, "Why?" She goes, "I just want to pull over for a second. I want to check on Havana." Havana was a young baby, you know. She's 12 now. So I said, "Okay, sure." So she said, "I want to check on her, make sure she's okay." And it just keeps happening. And I'm like, "I just want to go to Minnesota. I don't want to do this 12-hour trip anyway. So let's just." I'm getting soaked because we keep pulling over. So I hear her shut the door, right? And then I figured she's in the car, and I just start driving. Because she said, "I want to get in the back of the car to nurse the baby," you know? And I'm going,
yeah, okay.
So I said, "Okay, sure." So she shuts the door, and I drive off. Well, here, she thinks that I'm somehow mad, and I just drive off.
She's not in the car?
No.
Oh, my God.
So I drive from I-44 in Skelly. Our office was 5800 East Skelly. I drive from there probably 12 miles.
You pulled a Dumb and Dumber instead of going left to the Rockies. You went right.
Dude, I'm listening. I'm getting on I-44 headed out towards Joplin. I'm listening to my R&B music, and I'm like, hey, I realize you're a little frustrated that we keep pulling over, but it's a thing. We just got to get going. Eventually, we have to get going.
Eventually.
And I'm like, you can't just not say anything. I mean, this is ridiculous. We've been in the car now for like 10 minutes. You got to say something.
Oh, no.
And I look, and Havana's just smiling, and she's a little baby, and Vanessa's not in the car. And I'm like, oh, no. So I turn around. Well, it's a definite 20 minutes back. And at this point, I mean, the rage that I put her through, she thought like, oh my gosh, who is this nut job? Takes off with our kid, leaves in the middle of the night.
Who is this nut job?
Yeah. And so that all happened when you don't know who's clearly responsible for something like who's checking who's in the car. These things can happen in a business if you scale a business, like in your case where you do thousands of transactions. So my man, how did you fix it? What did you do? Did you sell a kidney? Did you sell a lung? What did you do?
Well, thank goodness kidneys are still worth a little bit of money. I mean, you know, I had two, so I didn't know. What we did is we just were purposeful. We got our list. We found out who the oldest money was. We just went and we just physically just pounded on these folks, and we got our money. I mean, because they, you know, I know it sounds crazy, but a business will slow pay you if you give them the opportunity.
A business will what?
Slow pay you if you give them the opportunity. If you're not purposeful in collecting the money, they'll go, well, I guess we're done on 30 days. So I'll just wait 60. Hey, I'm going to go 90. Maybe he's on a 120 plan. I don't know. He hasn't said anything. I'll keep it in my account. I'll keep that interest. I'll beat him out of another month of interest. I mean, they will do it on you. And so you have to be purposeful. You know, we're all about growing the business. We're all about making the sale. We're all about marketing, branding, time management. Woo! But the thing you can't forget, which I have. So then what we did is we hired someone and said, listen, I sat him at the desk and I said, listen, you see this step of this process? Yeah. That's your step.
That's all you do, baby.
That's your step.
You work it.
Now, if you get caught up on that and you're done with that step and you've got no more, I'll add a few other things to your plate. Don't get me wrong, because, you know, I know you want to be busy. I know you're a hard worker, and I know you want to stay busy throughout the day.
You collect those checks.
But that is your sole purpose. That's you.
Now, when we come back, I want Justin to be able to ask you, because he's growing this elephant in the room. It's on the verge of franchising. Many great things are happening. So many great things are happening. He's got leads coming in everywhere. Websites top of Google. He's got a great team. Really great things are happening. But he's actually growing a business. This is not a theory. A lot of listeners out here go, I want to start a business someday. But Justin, how long ago did you start? Is it about 5 years ago?
Yeah, just over 5 years.
Okay, so any questions that you have for the Zolhan, any question that you maybe questions that you would have had as a younger guy, maybe questions you go, man, 5 years ago, I wish I would have been able to ask somebody that, because I think that's so valuable, because you're actually in the trenches. I mean, this is not theory for you. I'd love for you to be able to ask any questions that are just going through your cranium, because growing a business can be very, very hard, and it's not every day you have your Yoda, your business Yoda inside the box that rocks. We have the Z. It's ecstasy when you're next to me. I'm so excited you're here in the box, and we're gonna pepper you with questions, my man.
Ooh, I can hardly wait after the break. I'm gonna take a little meditation and be ready to go.
All right, thrivetimeshow.com. Check it out.
My name is Tyler Schultz with Witness Security from here in Tulsa. Well, I actually started listening to Thrive on the radio, 1170, and then I got my dad into listening to the show. And then it actually turned into Clay gave us a call, and we started actually working with Clay on a weekly basis. He's helped us drastically when it comes to the SEO, getting us a little bit higher in different markets. Then he offered the conference, and just learned a lot when it comes to the sales and the employee side of things. It's going to help our business drastically. Oh, very intuitive, just pulling you in to break down each part of your business. The interview process, the employee process. If employee's not working out, we let them go. It's a drastic experience. You just have to come and check it out. I mean, there's so many things that they can help you with. Clay's a funny guy. He just wants to get into each and every person's business and help you out. Oh, I know I've asked a couple of questions, and he's broken down that question and answered it in several different ways. There are so many different things. The SEO, first and foremost, he will help you get the more business coming in, and then once that is coming in, then he helps you with the employee process of do I need to hire more people? What do I need to put in place? And he gets you there. You hear of all the other different type conferences, and I myself have never been to one, but the walking on coals and all that stuff, that just seems like a bunch of hype that isn't really needed. And I know of several people that have gone to those type conferences, and yet they haven't, because there's no actionable deals, you really don't have any moving forward steps. It's just hype, and it's not needed. Well, just the cost in of itself versus $6,000 for one conference and no actionable steps versus $1,500 and there is actionable steps. You can't beat it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Thrive Nation, if you are shooting for the stars, if you're trying to make copious amounts of cash so that you can have the time freedom and financial freedom that you have always dreamed of, you have found the right show. It's the Thrivetime Show on your radio. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year. I'm a father of 5 human kids. I am a hobby chicken rancher. We have 2 incredible rabbits, 72 trees, 4 incredible cats. Life is good at Camp Clark and Chicken Palace, but we are just like you as an entrepreneur. I am navigating the tricky waters of entrepreneurship, and luckily I've been able to get to the success that a lot of people are chasing, but there are so many difficult twists and turns, tough decisions, issues that come up along the way. And so when a Thriver asked us this great business coach question, they said, how many months would I need to be a business coach client before I see a return? I'm giving you examples. The Tulsa Oilers in 28 months have set every attendance record possible. Elephant in the room, Justin didn't start this yesterday, but in 5 years, he's got 3 locations. He's on the verge of franchising. He's created the brand. He's built a world-class website. They have a call center that's growing. They have a workflow system now. They have processes. He's building training videos. They got search engine optimization. They're gathering reviews. They got social media. He's been in the news quite a bit, public relations, grand opening events, mailers. I mean, he's done all the things. But, Justin, along the way, you've probably run into some issues. And I want you to be able to ask Z any question that maybe you have, because I know there's thousands of people out there who probably have the same questions for Dr. Z. So, sir, back to you.
So I've got a couple different questions, and I won't throw them all at you at once. But we started the segment talking about, so you've got a business. You've done your search engine optimization, your SEO, your customer review gathering, your call scripts. You're looking around. You've got people at your door. You've got people calling your phones. And you look around, and you need a staff. You need people that are solid, that can show up, that can work nights and weekends, which most people probably don't. So, Dr. Z, with all these thriving businesses that you've had, and you do have, how do you find your employees to grow the company? Do you drive down to like the bus stop, the Greyhound, and say, hop in, guys, we've got a job for you? Where do you find those A+ employees that can take your vision and that are reliable, that can show up They can work those schedules, nights and weekends. How do you find them? Where do you find them?
In the early days, I kind of had to move.
Ooh, we got to move. Here we go.
I kind of had to move.
I want to hear this move. I've never heard when you say the move, you know what I think about?
What do you think
I think
about?
about your theme song now, your new official theme song. So I got super far from the microphone as my excitement. What was your move, Z?
My move.
What was your move?
I tell you what. I'd find people and make them an offer they couldn't refuse.
What kind of offer did you make him, Z? Come on.
When they couldn't refuse, that's the offer.
Well, I'll tell you what, I refuse to accept that. You can tell me the offer you made.
No, let me tell you my little secret move. Here's what I would do. My challenge is that at Dr. Robert H. Ziller and Associates PC, we were open 7 days a week.
Seven.
And most doctors, most optometrists, most dentists, most people in the medical field, they want to be open about 4, maybe 4.5 days. They want to do the Monday through
coach
Thursday.
these guys, and I'll say 4 is like you're really pushing 5. 4.5 is. I mean, 4 is
4.5 to 5 is. I mean, that's a long week.
You got some unicorns. 5 days a week. That's a unicorn.
Tuesday through Thursday.
So my move is that it's kind of like, okay, I'm open 7 days a week. So going around and trying to find the average person that wants to work in a medical practice wasn't the move. You couldn't really find that person because they're kind of like, I want weekends off, and I only want to work a half day here.
Not Fridays. Friday's technically the weekend in our industry.
I gotta get stuff done.
Sundays is unethical. Saturday, no, couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't do it. That's just not right.
Friday night, no way.
So I said to myself, who's got a worse schedule than I do? Restaurants? They work late.
True.
Oh, wait a second. The mall?
The mall?
Oh, the mall.
Oh.
The mall's open 7 days a week, and it's open later than we are.
Oh, man.
And there's hundreds of people working in there.
Is that why I saw you in Bed Bath & Beyond?
A lot.
Those Bath & Body Works. You're in there all the time talking about soap. You're in the Gap. You're running around there.
I like spilling I'm kind of in the lavender soap. So I'll go.
You're kind of on the outside of it, Victoria. So you're not in it. You're not a creeper. You're on the outside of it. You're kind of waving down at people going, hey, seriously, I'm interested in things. Come out here and talk to me.
We walk around with a clipboard.
And the ultimate interview is to go into a business.
Oh, come on now.
The ultimate interview is to go into a business and act like you're trying to buy something and see how the employee responds with you. This was my little secret.
I'm trying to get these 3 lotions, and I don't normally come to Bath & Body
Works. Is this
Works.
more lavender than this one?
Is this lavender, or is this considered daffodil?
This is this is deep lavender, but I think this one smells
Where's
more
your
lavender,
pumice? Where is it?
Is this pumice? You have a lavender pumice? Because I can't, find. So what you do is you'd go and you find bright, articulate, seemingly normal-ish.
And I know you've done this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a little thing in your hip pocket called business cards.
Business cards.
Business time.
Business time.
And you would literally, and I'm not kidding you, steal employees. And I know people out there going, oh my gosh, you're that guy that came into Bath Body Works and took Rebecca.
Arthur Greeno and I had to have this conversation because Arthur runs a Chick-fil-A, and I did not know that he owned that Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And Arthur was like, you are hiring my people. We need to have an agreement that, and I go, okay. So I quit doing it. But I'm telling you, Chick-fil-A has already found some great people. Starbucks. Whoa. So
boom.
It's a move.
And they've trained them well, and they have energetic and high energy people. And the good thing about it, when you go in the mall and it's 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and some kids in there in Gap just hustling, or 8:30 or whatever, because the mall closes at 9, I guess, or whatever. You say to yourself, okay, one, they must need a job.
Right.
I mean, let's just put the filter out there. They really need a job. Because some people come into a job interview and they'll be like, well, I need a little bit of money, but,
Had somebody today tell me they're willing to do anything that it takes. They just want to make sure they're done by 5.
Right, exactly. So so you're
anything it takes.
You're sitting there at the Gap at 8:30. You're like, this is a sharp young person. This is a sharp young person. Then I can give them at least a better schedule than Gap can.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And you find, and then probably pay them a little bit more.
I actually hired quite a few people from Cheddar's and from TGI Fridays and different places. And my whole move was, again, just exactly your move. Go in there, meet these bright people, and then I offer them a little bit more than they're making now, better schedule, whatever. And I want to ask you this, though. When you have these optometrists and it's time to tell them to actually work on a Friday night, because you're open, what are your hours there, man? What are your hours?
Well, we open it. We start seeing patients for like 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, and then 9 to 5 on Saturday, and then on Sundays we see patients from like 12 to 4.
Now, Justin, over here at Elephant in the Room, what are your hours for the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge?
Monday through Friday, 10 to 7. And then on Saturdays, 9 to 5. And we're actually closed on Sundays. So,
Well, Clay, you asked me what hours we see the doctors see, but we're open longer than that. The office. The office is 9 to 7 through the week, 9 to 6 on Saturday, and then 12 to 5 on Sundays.
So there's a lot of parallels in that most people want to get their hair cut when they get off of work or on the weekends.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parallels. People want to get their glasses when they're not at work or on the weekends.
Correct.
And you've had to have conversations with optometrists.
Well, the thing about it is, I mean, they know going in. It's not like, oh, I forgot to mention.
I know,
You've
but
got to work on a Sunday.
I know, but you've said these. You say statements in the way you're a powerful person. I've seen you do it where you're a person who's compassionate, but you're a man about conviction. And I see you where you say things in a way where they're not a suggestion. You say things that this is going to happen. It's a declarative statement. It's not an interrogative statement. You're not asking a question, do you want to work these hours? You're stating it's happening. And I want to hear how you do it, because every entrepreneur feels a little guilty sometimes when they have to staff their team on hours they don't want to work. Stay tuned. Thrivetime Show.
This is my wife, Jensen Watts. She has a photography business that we're trying to get up and growing. So I, listen to talk radio. I drive a lot for work, and got tired of listening to radio all the time. And I can't plug my phone into my truck; it's too old. And so, one day the Thrive show was just in place of the talk show I normally listen to, and it was, definitely more entertaining than most radio shows. And so that's, it took about a week or two before I actually looked more into it. I think it's wonderful. It's been great. It's a great environment. I love the feel in here, and I really love how entertaining Clay can be as well.
Yeah, I am so grateful to be here, and I've loved just learning everything. I'm learning a lot about branding and how to market my business, because that's kind of where I've had a hard time. Is I can take pictures, I'm good at it, I have my prices and everything, but it's hard to get the clientele. So learning about the marketing has really helped me, and I can't wait to implement it into my own business after this, because it's been so great. We're so grateful to be here. I think I can go home and I have it written out, the steps that I need to take and everything. It's very practical.
Yeah, a big thing that's helped me, even without business stuff, is just a mental attitude aspect they have that I can apply to my current job and current life.
I love it. I am laughing a lot of the time, and it's so entertaining, and I just love being here. It's awesome.
I really like the smaller class group, so it is more of an interaction, even if it isn't, a constant raise my hand, here's the question, here's the answer. It's just that kind of feel, just a smaller.
It's great. Yeah, they haven't tried to upsell us anything. It has all just been very knowledgeable, and they are just teaching you how to grow your business. So
Clay's been very giving with his time, his knowledge, his talents. At work, when I was telling people about this, I hope you're not joining some get-rich scheme. Even if it is, he's not going to charge me for it. So, yeah, I'd recommend it. I would even love to come again.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sing it, Thrivers. Here we go. Z, come on, crank it up, man. Here we go. Down New Amsterdam. Thrivers, sing along. Here we go. Staring at this yellow-haired girl, Mr. Jones strikes up a conversation. Come on, Thrivers. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Flamingo dancer. Okay, sorry. The song gets weird after this point.
Sorry.
It gets weird after that. But anyway, the whole song, at no point does he attempt to rhyme either. It's just he's so baked, and he has so much dreadlocks and so much passion. No one even questions the fact that the song Mr. Jones doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense.
No, but it's fun. I like it. It's 1984-ish, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
She's suddenly beautiful. It's just.
Was it 84?
We all want something beautiful. It's just. Man,
it's 94, I think. Yeah.
It's just that I could read the lyrics for an hour and a half and not understand them. It's like a haiku within the Matrix, within a dream. Back to the story. We're talking about how to grow a successful company. People have asked, if I hire a business coach, How long will it take for me to see a return? And I'm giving you examples. One, Face and Body doubled the size of their business in 4 months. Kirkpatrick and Lie, I've worked with these guys for years. Kirkpatrick and Lie Orthodontics, great people. Okay, but they execute the system, so they've done really well. Tulsa Oilers, 28 months. I mean, these guys, in 28 months, they've doubled their season tickets. They set a record. They filled up the entire BOK. 16,000 capacity people, 16,000 capacity seats can fit in there. 16,000 fans can fit in those seats. And they filled it up. My wife and I went to the game. It was crazy. There's like a line wrapped around the thing. Then Elephant in the Room. We have the founder right here, Justin Moore, Elephant in the Room. And as he's growing his business, he's implementing all the moves. He's got a call center going now. He's got call scripts, workflows. He's got search engine optimization. He's top for every term. He's got Facebook marketing. He's got retargeting ads, PR, grand opening events, a world-class experience, Google reviews for days. He's got the stuff. He's on the verge of franchising. But then stuff hits the fan. You run into the real life of owning a business. And one of the things we have is scheduling, Z. And I was just asking you before the break, with your optometry clinic, you are open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And with Justin's business, they are open at night and on weekends. What do you say to somebody, an optometrist or doctor or some kind of person who works for you, when you give them the schedule and they're the one working on Sunday or Saturday? How do you do it?
You negotiate that before you hire them. I mean, there's not any surprises because surprises are not good for employer or employee. What? I was going to work on Saturday. So everything's negotiable up front, so there's no surprises. It's kind of like, hey, oh, I can hurry to get my paycheck because I don't know how much you're going to pay me.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. It'll be like a paycheck roulette.
I wonder what he's going to pay me because we didn't negotiate that. This is going to be surprising because I know he's a real. I've heard he's a real giver.
He's a giver.
He's a giver. So no, everything's negotiated up front. And so hey, low man on the totem pole. My daughter just started working for me. As an optometrist.
The Bridget boss.
Hey, Bridget.
Dr. Bridget.
How you doing, baby?
She's a great American.
She's a great American, and she's bringing new energy, and she's just being awesome in the practice, and everybody's enjoying her, and she's working weekends. Why? Because that's what the rookie does.
Wait. You made your own kid start off at the bottom?
Yes, and I told her, and she knows this, and this is a fact. Sometimes if you don't do that, you will not have the respect. And this is going to be something that's going to be, handed off to her. I mean, she's the next generation, right? So she's the future of the practice. And so that's how you earn the respect. That's how you do it. Every now and then we'll have a Sunday that doesn't have coverage or, just the way it works out, sick, this, that, broken foot. I mean, stuff happens in life, right?
Right.
And so I got to get out the gold scrubs and show up, and it's kind of fun. It scares my employees when I show up to work, but
because you no longer have a knowledge of optometry. You're running in there and you're going, well, I swear for you, look like the kind of man. How tall are you? 5'8"? Okay, why don't you get some 20/40s? 20/40. You look like a 20/80 vision.
Now the optometry board's going to call me. It's come to our knowledge that your co-host has confirmed that you have no knowledge.
We're reading the transcripts of this show about business coaching,
exactly.
And we've noticed not only do you say the word business coach a lot, but you also your co-host openly professes that you do stay up on your game. You go to the ongoing education. These are things you do.
Yeah, you have to, and it's enjoyable and it's fun, and it was my first love and my first business, and so it'll always be near and dear to me. But the point is, you negotiate it beforehand, and that's what's so beautiful about going around to businesses that the people working in them, you can offer them a better environment. You can offer them more money. You can offer them a better schedule because those are the three things that people really care about.
They want what? They want more money. They want what? What did you say? More money?
A better schedule.
Better schedule.
And a better work environment.
Better work environment.
Yeah, I mean, they get to wear scrubs at my place and sneakers. I mean, that's just cool.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful thing.
Justin Moore's growing this elephant in the room. They're approaching 90 employees, about ready to franchise this thing all over the planet. You'll remember when you heard this show, you'll go, man, because one of our partners, Jonathan, has OxyFresh, and they've got hundreds and hundreds of locations. And people go, I remember John when he was an ORU guy. You're gonna hear about Justin someday. You're gonna go, I remember when the elephant in the room just had those 3 locations. When Kirk Fryer was the first member. Justin, you've got a tough question for Dr. Z coming in hot. Here we go, man. You just come in hot. Put him on the hot seat.
All right, so getting some knowledge here. So everyone get your pens, your paper out here. So you're growing your business. You've got your employees. You're looking for the A employees. You've stole them from the mall, right?
Yeah. Back in the day,
better hours.
I'll just be in restaurant. Back in the day, that was the move.
Okay, better hours, more pay. That's awesome. I'm actually
better work environment.
Not hostile, right? No hostile bosses.
Well, I mean, it's a pleasurable environment. I mean, if you work in a restaurant, you come home, your clothes smell like cheese fries for 3 days. I mean, it is what it is. I used to work in a restaurant. I know. So,
all right. So here we go. So now you've got this employee.
Okay.
They had the work ethic. They were hustling on a Sunday, so they definitely needed a job. So they're working for you.
Okay.
Now they've been there for a while. That they see Dr. Z pulls up in his Porsche. You
He's
know,
got a Porsche, baby.
This is a big building, and there's probably electricity bills a lot. And he can at least buy everyone lunch on the weekend. So need more money. Now it's coming to you, and maybe it's not in the budget, right? So two things here. How do and when do you determine when the raise is? Is it already a fixed thing, or will you hand them out like lollipops? And then two, so how do you determine those pay? And then ultimately, how does that budgeting? How do you give now your managers that leeway to give them free range on and scheduling hours and pay?
Wow. Okay,
Boom.
first of all, I'd like a disclaimer. If you work for me, would you please turn off the podcast or turn down the radio?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get Z's theme music ready here, Z. Okay, so we all your people, all your employees have now turned off the podcast, turned off the radio show, and you can be candid.
I can be candid.
Okay.
I tell you what, once you make a deal, it's a deal, right? If you come to me wanting more out of the deal, you let a bully take your lunch money one time, they're going to keep coming after your lunch money every time.
Pretty soon you won't have any lunch money, is what we're saying.
Pretty soon you'll be confronted with that bully. Then you got to go rob other kids. No, here's what you do. You have clear expectations of when the reviews are going to be, i.e., everybody wants a review because they know it can lead to a raise. So you're going to be hit up a lot for reviews. So you make clear expectations when you want to do the 6 months, year. Sometimes we'll do one the first 6 months and we'll do 1 year after year after year, right? And then you give clear expectations of what they need to do in order to get a raise. And I'll tell you what, sometimes it's a good thing to give raises to those that deserve them. One of the things that I try to tell all my employees is please don't tell anybody that I gave you a raise. And, you think they do all the, you think run around and tell everybody they got a raise sometimes?
Well, they run around with new shoes on right away. Well, and where do you get those new shoes? Well, I got a bonus. I didn't want to say I did buy a new car.
It's kind of a big deal, and I'm kind of being special around here, There's two things. There's one, the expectation set up front, so they don't have to come to you and go, I know this is awkward, but I've been here now for like 18 months, and I just want to know how I'm doing. Can I get a review? That's not the way you want to run it. You want to have clear expectations. You want to give clear, and what I do with my management team is I give them percentages they have to hit. So how much they actually pay an individual person is really not the game. It's about making sure that the percentage of the gross is within reason with their employment numbers. Does that make sense?
So they have goals, metrics, and if they hit those metrics, they can make some money.
So let's say they've got $30 to spend in an hour to hire some employees. They can hire 2 rock stars at maybe 15, or they can hire 3, average at 10, or 3 younger ones at 10.
But you determine the amount of the total revenue that you're going to pay in payroll.
Correct.
And then the managers get to choose how they do it. So if they want to buy,
now that they've been around and I've coached them through the process, and I've kind of handed the hourly stuff a little bit more off to them, because you know what? I don't want that job.
You're committed to the result. You say, I'm giving you $30 an hour to fill these jobs. Yep. If you get 2 15s or 3 10s or whatever you got to do, that's your budget.
That's your budget.
I like that move.
Yeah. Or you could get maybe, one, you find an absolute rock star, you do 120 and then maybe 2 at 10.
Now, could you just keep it all for yourself and just get off? Does that work?
Now, Thrive Nation, I hate to interrupt. You have such a good flow going, but Sam, you this weekend you did a powerlifting competition. Sam, our producer. Sam, how much weight did you lift with your body? How much weight did you lift with your body, my friend?
I squatted 650 pounds. I benched 405, and I deadlifted 675 pounds for a total of 1730.
Oh, wow. Now, that was powerful. And the only thing I could think of that's more powerful or as powerful as that is our next in-person workshop. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, Z, you can learn everything you've ever needed to learn about starting and growing a business. And it's all packed into a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. Z, how is it possible?
Thrivetimeshow.com. Go get all your questions answered, okay? $500 to 10, but we have scholarships. No upselling. Great time. Meet other Thrivers right there with you.
We also have one-on-one business coaching. We also have the world's best business podcast. And we have the world's most affordable business school, Thrive15.com. And until next time, Z, we always like to end it with a 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Do it.
3, 2, 1, boom!